What's up, guys? Back again. Glad you could join me. God, it's getting hot here in Portland. Not just because of the political climate, but because it's just getting hot. It's summer. It's like 100 degrees in the studio. I need to invest in some form of air conditioning, but I spent all my money on that. What is that, you may ask? Well, the hopefully image looks a little bit better. It's hard to tell with YouTube compression, but I bought myself a new expensive camera. New to me. What is vibrating over here? Oh, that's my wireless follow focus, so I'm going to put that over there so it'll stop vibrating. It's new to me, but no, it's not the A7S III, and no, it's not the Canon R5 or R6. So it's not a new camera. Oh, and it's not the Blackmagic Ursa Mini 12K. So it's not new, but it's new to me. It's probably a camera that's about a year old, and I'll share with you in a future video on what camera it is. Let's see if you guys can guess. If you guys can guess which camera this is, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, if you're just here to watch the latest thing I have to show you, then just watch on and let's roll that bumper. So I think it was about a year ago when Rode kind of changed the prosumer lavalier game when they gave us these little tiny options called the Rode Wireless Go. I keep mine in this little case because they didn't have a case with theirs. So these little tiny things can get me wireless audio. Now, they're not perfect. They don't do non-line of sight audio very well, which means you have to be in view of those things at all times unless you're within like 5 or 10 feet, meaning you can't turn your back to the camera, which can be problematic, but there's ways around it. But it was still really cool to be able to hide these on your talent, and they're much easier to hide than like a Sennheiser big wireless pack or something. Today, what we're going to look at is an offering from Pixel, the Pixel Voical Air. Now, what does Voical mean? I do not know. I think it's supposed to be the Voical Air, or the Vocal Air. See, now they got me saying Voical. I think it's supposed to be the Vocal Air. I have not asked my rep at Pixel why it's called the Voical Air, but I think something was lost in translation because this is not a native to American company. With that being said, I'm hoping that this can give the Wireless Go a run for its money because it's considerably cheaper. Let's test some stuff out. All right, so first things first, let's unbox the Voical Air and see what's inside. Already I'm liking this because the Voical Air, while I don't need instructions for something so basic, comes with a case. That is awesome because the Rode Wireless Go doesn't. It's easy, it's small, you can fit them in anywhere, but a case is always appreciated. So when you come inside, lots of cables, a hot shoe or cold shoe mount, which probably means that they didn't have the intuitive way of hooking it onto the cold shoe like the Wireless Go did, which is something I'll show you later. Lots of cords. We got USB-C. We got another USB-C. We got something with a longer cable. Ooh, its own lavalier, something the Rode Wireless Go does not give us. Its own separate lavalier. This looks to be a phone cable, and I'm guessing this is a cable to the camera. Yes, a camera cable. So overall, it comes with a lot of stuff that the Rode Wireless Go doesn't. The Rode Wireless Go basically just comes with a cable, the units themselves, and a little dead cat to go on top, which is something that the Voical Air does not have, so that's a plus for the Wireless Go. Now, I really like that even though it's cheaper, it has USB-C capabilities because I'm all in on the USB-C. I don't have much use for a phone cord, but it's cool that it comes with it. Camera cord I will keep out because we're going to need that, and I'll keep out the lavalier that is supplied. The clip on this looks similar to the Purple Panda lavs I was looking at, but the microphone itself looks much different. We're going to test it here in a little bit. All right, so we'll put the rest of the case away for now, and we'll put these cords away for a minute. So right now, let's focus on the size of the Voical Airs. They're a little bit bigger than the Rode Wireless Goes. Not by much, but definitely noticeable. They're all very small, so it's all... I'm kind of pulling at hairs here because they're all very, very small considering to normal lavalier packs and wireless packs, but they are a little bit bigger. When you flip them on their back, there's a lot more options. So these setting buttons here, let's turn these on. So while turning on the Vocal Air, you can see it has, this is the receiver and this is the transmitter. So receiver on the left, transmitter on the right. One thing I don't like already is there's a little bit of a delay you can see on the waveform, and the waveform itself doesn't stay there long enough for you to tell how far exactly it is on the waveform. While the Wireless Go, if we turn these on, again, let's put the receiver on the left, you get a bar, so you can tell how far how loud your audio is, because the bar will tell you. With this weird phantom-y thing, it's just hard to tell. I guess you can look at your camera's audio display, but it would be nice if they put it directly on here. One thing the Rode Wireless Go doesn't have is a headphone jack. Now that's nice for me, because the GH5 that I used for a long time, I was never able to get the headphone jack to work, so being able to monitor the audio directly out of these packs is very, very handy. Another thing I like about the Vocal Air is it has up and down volumes, and I think it goes 10 notches as opposed to the Wireless Go, which just has 3 audio levels that you have to choose from. So you can really dial in your audio levels even if your camera doesn't support it. Now, one thing I don't like about it is each thing has its own up and down button, and sometimes it gets confusing knowing if they're at the same level, which one's high, which one's low. And because the waveform is so confusing, sometimes it gets confusing on how well you are getting the audio unless you're listening to it. One thing it did take from the Wireless Go is it's easy to set up. You push the button, you turn them on, and they're connected. And that's awesome because I hate setting things up. Now, the Wireless Go is able to switch frequencies, but it doesn't internally. You can't control that. While on the Vocal Air, you can control different channels. There's 10 different channels to choose from. You just have to make sure that they're lined up. So if you're getting a lot of static on one channel, it's easy to flip to another one. As far as the rest of the screen, it's a little more cluttered than the Wireless Go, but basically the same information. I do like that there's a screen on the transmitter pack as well, because if you're a director and you're away from your audio guy, you can ask the talent directly how much battery they have life on the pack. When you flip them to the side, that's where their power button is. When you flip them to the top, that's where you plug in a microphone. You plug this into the camera or the phone, and that's your headphone jack. When I said there was 10 different channels to choose from, I was actually wrong. There's actually 36 different channels, which is a good and a bad, because sometimes you can get mixed up on what channel people are on, but overall I like having that option on my rig itself. So when it comes to lavaliers, I'm going to be taking the one that comes with the Vocal Air and comparing it to this guy, which is the Rode Smartlav Plus. Smartlav Plus costs about $90 more, just keep that in mind. And yeah, Smartlav Plus is easier to hide. They both have really good cords, only the one that comes with the Vocal Air is a little bit thicker, again making it harder to hide. But another thing you should note is that the Vocal Air port is designed directly to be plugged into the camera, as you can see with just the 2 lines, while the Rode Wireless or the Rode Smartlav Plus has 3 lines, making it for phones only. But there's an easy workaround for that, coming in the form of this simple adapter that turns your phone lavalier into a camera lavalier. But again, that's another $20. So it's starting to add up here. But let's see what these sound like now with the lavaliers plugged in. Alright, so we've seen the differences between the external parts of these lavalier kits. Let's see what they sound like, because that's always the most important thing. So this is the sound coming directly out of the Pixel Vocal Air, and right now it doesn't have a mic plugged into it. I want to see baseline what it sounds like against the Rode Wireless Go, and that's kind of the whole point of this video, so I'm just rambling here for a minute so you can hear the quality of this compared to the quality of the Rode Wireless Go straight out of the receiver, which we will hear now. Alright, so now we got old reliable. We got the Rode Wireless Go plugged in here, and this is without a microphone. I've always gotten pretty good audio out of this, especially because you can plug it directly into the camera. Right now I have it plugged directly into the GH5, and yeah, it's just always been a good workhorse for me. It's not as good as actually having, you know, like a big receiver transmitter for lavaliers, but in a pinch, it does pretty well, especially for the price. Let's see what it sounds like with the Rode Smartlav plugged into it. Smartlav plugged into it. I need to slow down when I talk. So this is what it sounds like on the Rode Wireless Go with the Rode Smartlav Plus plugged in. And not a lot to say about things, although you do need an adapter, which is something you'll have to remember. The other one just slides right in. And this is what the lavalier sounds like that comes with the Pixel Vocal Air, plugged directly into the Vocal Air receiver. Again, I want to put this against the Rode Smartlav. Even though it doesn't come with the Rode Wireless Go, I'm still curious how it stacks up. And this could be a really big win for Pixel if it competes at all because of how big of the difference the price is. They're pretty good audio, something that's passable for YouTube and things like that. Not something I would probably use in the film world because I like how this mic here sounds. If you're wondering, it is a boom mic, a Rode NTG3. So we've heard what it sounds like. What's next? Let's do a nice distance check, and I'm going to go do a lot of walking backwards in this one. Not going to the football field because while that shows an accurate representation of how far it is, there's nothing for the signal to bounce off, and it's not a fair environment to test these in. Now, the neighborhood my friend lives in, on the other hand, that has multiple things to bounce off, multiple cars driving in front, and it's an environment I can't control, which is a good real-world environment for these wireless lavalier systems. All right, so this is the Pixel Voical Air. We're going to see how far we can go with it. Hopefully the sun will go down far enough that I don't have to walk in any sun and shield my eyes, but I know that's not going to happen. So let me pull up my app here and we will get started. Let's start at the baseline here. We're still good. I don't know what I'm talking about. 60 meters away. 60 meters, and we're still good, right? Still good, not cutting out at all. Now we're doing the Rode Wireless Go, which I already know. All right, so, all right, we finally cut out, thank God. $104. So in that test, the result was pretty clear. The Rode Wireless Go not only can go much further, but is also much more reliable. I believe what was happening with the Voical Air was every time it would really get to that disconnection point, it was having trouble getting back into the pocket. While the Rode Wireless Go, if you just get back into that zone, you're good again. And so the Rode Wireless Go is much more dependable, and the Voical Air is good for situations like this, situations where you're close. All right, so now we get to price. The price for the Wireless Go is $200, while the price for the Voical Air is $119. But when you add in the free mic, the Voical Air is still $119. When you add in the mic with the Wireless Go, you're up to $290. And when you add the little adapter that you don't need over here, you're up to $310. So is the Rode Wireless Go the better option when price isn't included? Is it better when you factor in the price? I would still think so. The only reason I would buy the Voical Air is if you want to get your feet wet in this market, and it is very cheap for what it's delivering. It is sturdy for situations like this, maybe vlogging, but overall the Rode Wireless Go really, that dependability and how far you can get really puts it over the edge. And I'm excited that Pixel is still innovating and giving us new things in this market, and I'm excited to see what they put out next. So with all that out of the way, you know what time of the video it is. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that little like button over there. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so because it would really mean a lot to me and I want you to. Isn't that a good reason? They're telling me no, that's not a good reason. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'm hoping to bring you really good filmmaker content, which includes gear and a little behind the scenes and just some cool filmmaker tricks that I really haven't got to show yet. That's coming up in the future. Also, you'll be the first one to know if you hit subscribe and that bell what the new camera here is. I'm going to show you the new camera, what the rig is, and everything that comes with it on the next video. If you have any comments or just want to yell at me for sweating and being out here without air conditioning in 100 degrees, go ahead and hit me up in the comments below, as long as you remember, this isn't a competition. Let's all rise up in this business together. I'll see you guys soon.